Everyone, good day. So I may be Oida, your topic presenter for today. So I'm going to discuss to you my topic, which is chapter 2, lesson 4, the rules of evidence. So we have objectives. First, explain the rules of evidence and their importance in making fair and valid assessment decision. Next, identify and describe different types of assessment evidence used to determine a candidate's competency. So let's go now to rules of evidence. So first is reflects the skills and knowledge. So here, if you're going to be the trainee, so you need to reflect your skills, like yung mga kakayahan mo at yung mga kaalaman mo or nalalaman mo or your knowledge about the unit of competencies. So for example, your unit is all about packaging food. So you need to show the proper packaging, cooking, and labeling the foods. So kailangan yung skills and knowledge mo ay nagre-reflect or nakarelate dun sa unit of competencies. Kung ano yung kailangan gawin dun na mga tasks is magagawa mo siya through your own skills and knowledge about it. So next we have show application of the skills. So here, student must apply the skills based on real working conditions. So for example, as what I've said, packaging foods. So dito sa show applications of the skill, kailangan kung kaya mong ma-perform yon in your laboratories, like sa school with your instructor, like may nag-facilitate sa inyo, yung kumbaga yung training nyo, ginaguide kayo. So, kaya nyo siyang ma-perform yung packaging and labeling food. So, kailangan, hindi lang siya naayon sa lugar kung saan mo siya pinaperform. Dapat, kahit mapunta ka na sa real world places, for example, sa OJT mo or kapag nasa workplace ka na mismong restaurant or hotel, kailangan ma-apply mo pa rin siya ng tama at kung paano mo siya nape-perform nung during your training or demonstration, ganun mo din siya magagawa kapag nasa real workplace ka na. Kailangan consistent. So next, indicates that skills and knowledge are applied. So dito, sabi dito, evidence should came from actual kitchen work, training labs, or internship. So, same as the number 2. Pag nagpe-perform ka na or magpe-perform ka na nung mga demo, natutunan mong skills, knowledge, competencies, like pag-prepare, pag-pack ng food, pagluluto, pag-serve, kung natuto ka na nun sa school, kailangan may apply mo na siya. Kaya sabi na dito is, show application of the skills. So, may apply mo na siya sa real workplace scenario, or kumbaga meron ka na nasa actual situation ka na meron ka ng guest, meron ka ng mga customers na kailangang pag-serve ng food, kailangang pag-prepare sa isang kitchen workplace, ma-assign ka doon. So yun, kailangan ma-apply mo yung mga skills and knowledge na natutunan mo from school sa industry. Then number 4, demonstrate competence over a period of time. So, ito napaka-importante nito. Kailangan made-demonstrate mo yung mga skills mo. So, made-demonstrate mo siya, mape-perform mo siya over a period of time. Kumbaga, kahit anong oras pa yan, saang lugar, kailangan competent and consistent ka. Hindi yung, kunyari, nag-perform ka sa laboratory nyo, sa university nyo, sa workshop station nyo, sa laboratory, nag-perform kayo ng pag-bake. So, that time, magaling ka, alam mo kung paano mag-bake kasi nandiyan yung professor mo, yung trainer mo, facilitator. Tapos, meron kang mga classmates or colleagues, nagtutulungan kayo. Tapos, pagdating naman sa industry, medyo sumasabit ka na, like pumapalpak ka na. So, kailangan demonstrate your competence over a period of time. So, kailangan kung magaling ka, kung natutunan mo na siya dun sa course nyo, so, may apply mo na siya sa real world or sa workplace mo. So, next is demonstrate repeatable competency. So, yun na din yun. So, magka-relate lang yung dalawang yun. So, students should know that they can perform task many times, not just once. So, kailangan consistent. Hindi yung unang pag-bake mo, unang salang mo, okay siya. Tapos yung pangalawa, sunog na. Yung sumunod naman, hilaw. Yung sumunod naman, sobrang sobrang tabang. Ganun. So, kailangan, not just once, many times. Then, consistent performance. So, kailangan consistent yung skills na pina-perform nyo. Yung competency na meron kayo is consistent. So, another example, student can repeatedly prepare packaged food. So, isa din yun. Then, correctly without constant supervision. So, kailangan mapaperform niya yung pagpapackage ng food without any supervision, kahit wala pa yung facilitator mo yan or yung trainer mo yan. Alam mo sa sarili mo na kaya mo and mapaperform mo siya ng maayos at tama. Then, we come now to is corroborated. So, dito, ang meaning lang naman ng corroborated is yung mga third party. Kumbaga, kapag may actual demonstration na, so, meron sa pag-grade sa mga trainer, yung mga trainer mo, so meron yung trainer and ikaw as trainee. So, para ma-avoid yung biases, nag-i-invite sila ng mga third party or yung mga manager ng restaurant or maybe supervisor or the team leader. Para kapag mag-grade sila, walang bias. Like, yung trainer na yun, favorite yung student na yun. So, syempre, kunyari, type niya, so favorite niya yun. So, syempre, i-grade niya ng mataas. So, para walang bias and fair, kailangan ng third party. So, yun. Para fair. Then, next, another one meaning of corroborated is valid by evidence or supported by other people or documents. So, example, trainer's evaluation, supervisor's signature, photos, logbook, or entries. So, yung mga record na yon is needed siya. Like, kumbaga siya yung patunay or evidence mo na may record ka nito, nag-attendance ka sa araw na yon, pumasok ka. So, needed siya. Then, is the work of the candidate. So, dito naman, next is made by the student. So, not copied or done by someone else. So, ibig sabihin ng is the work of the candidate. Meaning, kapag nag-perform ka or may certificate kang nakuha. So, kailangan ma-make sure mo na sa'yo talaga yun. I mean, sa'yo yun, pero ma-make sure mo na ikaw yung nag-perform, ikaw yung gumawa, ikaw yung natuto. Kasi, ikaw din naman magbe-benefit niyan as a trainee. So, alam mo namang, yun, nagkaroon ka ng mga certificates or kung ano. Pero hindi naman ikaw yung gumawa or nag-perform ng activity. Iba pala. So, ikaw rin naman ang magbe-benefit at magsisisi kung pepikein yung mga ganong records, diba? Ikaw yung hindi matututo. So, next, is able to be verified. So, dito, assessor should be able to verify the work. Example, assessor observe the student cooking or checking records. So, dito, kailangan ma-make sure na habang nagpa-perform ng student, merong assessor na nag-evaluate or nagpa-facilitate ng training. So, kailangan dito na ma-observe yung mga students kung tama ba yung ginagawa nila, kung pasok ba sa standard yung mga skills or competent na ba sila or hindi pa. Kasi may instances na kapag hindi, kailangan nilang umulit para ma-master nila yon. So, dito naman next is demonstrates the current skills and knowledge of candidate. So, the evidence must be recent and follow current safety and hygiene standards. So, example here, example is using updated safety rules. So, kailangan yung mga natututunang skills ng mga trainees, kailangan is updated and current. Kailangan akma siya sa mga needs ng industry nowadays. Kailangan relevant and timely siya. So, yun. Why is it important to ensure fair and objective assessment para equal and avoid biases? Then, prevent incorrect or biased decisions. protect the credibility of the qualification. And without these rules, assessment decisions may be unfair, unreliable, or inaccurate, which can affect both the learner and the training institution. So, yung mga rules and evidence na to ay kailangan dahil dito nasusukat yung kakayahan ng students, kung talagang competent na sila or hindi, kung papasa na ba sila, kung na-achieve na ba nila yung mga skills, knowledge na pasok sa standards ng mga TR. So, yun lang po. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.